The following program, Know the Cause, is paid for by Mediatrition Incorporated.
Hi, I'm Carol Kettering from the Health Food Center in Oklahoma City. I've lost over 100 pounds with the Phase 1 diet. Life has just changed. You've changed my life. We just love you, and I think America loves you. That's tons and tons. And here's Doug Kaufman.
Thank you so much, Carol. Man, this has been a busy 25 years and also a quick 25 years. I had dark hair. Many of you knew me with a Fu Manchu mustache, back before I started this. It's been a great run, folks. I'll never forget telling a producer so many years ago, he said, "What are you going to be talking about on today's show?" And I said, "Fungus." And he said, "Fungus, what a great idea. Like bacteria?" "Yeah, a little bit different." And then he said, "Okay, let's do the whole week lineup. What are you going to be talking about Tuesday?" "Fungus." On Wednesday, fungus. 25 years later, I don't think he thought I had a week in me talking about fungus. Bottom line is, as you now know from watching this show, and thank you from my heart and all of us in production here at Know the Cause, John Miller put together a show that you are going to love here with his team. And it's a reminiscent show. We go back, you see my early work. Some of you missed the earlier shows, but what he's done is condensed all of these wonderful years into a 30-minute show. We're gonna go backwards, share some testimonials, share some cheers, share some tears with you. Now let's start this by reminiscing a little bit.
We're so lost in science today. I was actually able to take sick people and help them get better. My name is Doug Kaufman. For the past 40 years, I've dedicated my life and even my career to finding the root cause of disease.
We must play a role in our own health care. I'm a self-care advocate, and you know what? Every time you change your diet for the better, exercise, or swallow a nutritional supplement, so are you. Now welcome to Know the Cause.
This is Elijah Morrow. I'm 9 years old, and I'm in 3rd grade, and I want you to watch Know the Cause every day.
Thank you so much, Elijah. I bet Elijah's 30 years old with kids now. You know what? Watch Know the Cause, and so you did. Thank you through the years for watching Know the Cause, a show that purports that everything that can go wrong is fungus. Is it?
I need a prevention-oriented nutrition to come work with me and learn with me. This is before I met Dr. Dave. And we had a whole bunch of doctors call in. I had a popular radio show at that time, and I was talking every weekend on radio, certainly here in Dallas was one of the places it was aired, about fungus being the root cause of darn near everything. You give me a symptom, I could find a fungal component to it. So we had this one doctor who wanted to come in at 5 o'clock after I was done seeing people, and he asked if he could close my office door, and I said, well, sure, and he sat in my chair and he pulled it up right to my desk. And he said, "Mr. Kaufman, I listen to you on the weekends." And I said, "Well, thank you. How do you like the show?" And he said, "Well, I really like it, but I have a question before you and I get serious with each other here. And that is, you don't really think everything is due to fungus, do you?" And I said, "Oh, no, doctor, I don't." And boy, with that, he sat back. "Oh, thank the Lord." He said, "Because your radio shows," and I leaned forward and I said, "Doctor, I don't think everything is fungus. I know everything is fungus." We never worked together.
I pick this up fairly easily, but sometimes doctors don't, as you will learn in this 25-year anniversary show. Sometimes it took a little more, but know this, the science was really always there.
First, let me tell you the reason doctors don't know much about these fungal conditions, as Dr. Mike Rinaldi has said, and we'll put it up on TV here. He's a mycologist, by the way. He's a PhD mycologist. In the not-so-distant past, in fact, only 10 years ago, fungi were generally considered of little consequence as relating to human disease. Now, this book you see was published in 1998. So 10 years ago would have been 1988, when doctors started to say, whoops, we're missing a whole lot of problems.
We aren't taught that in medical school. We aren't taught about antifungals. We just get the medication. This is used in a vaginal yeast infection. Sometimes you get yeast pneumonia. You have thrush. And that about covers it.
I'm Dr. Lynn Jennings, and I will say that at least 50% of the patients that come to see me have some form of chronic fungal disease. and I'm excited to be able to tell you that you can learn more from Doug Kaufman, so here he is.
Dr. Jennings, thank you so much. What a friend you have been, understanding the cause. But could fungus be linked to cancer and arthritis and diabetes and so many other health conditions? That's what the show was all about. We just need science.
Mary Jane was crying, and she said, he called me a liar. He said, the reason you're swelling, Mary Jane, is obvious, and this is the way the medical community believes. You continue to eat. Well, folks, if you take a little flour, it'll just blow away in your hand, unless you mix it with a little water. Remember doing this when we were kids? You know, we made the handprint and the grain, the flour, and it'll become hardened, unless you put a cake of yeast into it. Yeast changes all the rules. Once you put that cake of yeast into it and you pop it in, the oven at 350, slowly within an hour or two, I've never cooked bread, but slowly you can actually watch it rise and rise and rise. That's exactly what was going on with Mary Jane. 50 species. Remember before he said it's actually rare and the person is the problem, not the mold. Now, 8 years later, he's saying, well, 50 species of fungi are more than capable of causing human disease. Now, we'll go right from there to the next slide, which is not Dr. Walter Wilson, but rather Dr. C.C. Kibler. A comprehensive list of all fungi that have been incriminated as opportunistic human pathogens, that means they are capable of causing disease, may well exceed 400 species. 1995, 30 years later. Folks, before all is said and done, we are going to realize that these mycotoxins, there are probably thousands of them, that are capable of causing human misery and death. And then I told you about this. This came out in January of this year, and it was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, a peer-reviewed journal by an MD, PhD by the name of Ruth Etzel. Just came out a few months ago. These mycotoxins, these are fungal metabolites, are capable of producing illness and death in humans.
Hi, my name is Dr. Fred Pescatori, and I have known Doug Kaufman since the beginning of Know the Cause. It is hard to believe that it has been 25 years already. The friendship, professional camaraderie, and sharing of ideas has been nothing short of mind-blowing. Congratulations, Doug, for 25 years of sharing your knowledge with the world. Here's to another 25.
Right back at you, Los Angeles. Man, that was a ball. We had so much fun that evening in Los Angeles. The majority of the show was spent prepping to interview doctors and more so to teach doctors. I gave a lot of lectures, a lot of experts, folks. You remember some of them. Mark Sisson, Guy Evans, Barb Long, Mark Underwood, Kim Bright, Dr. Lynn Jennings, Dr. Stengler, Dr. Cowden, Kyle Drew, my dear friend Frank Jordan. There were so many. Dr. Ann Shippey, Dr. Fred Pescatori, Dr. John Ganino, Dr. John Trowbridge, Dr. Ross Pelton, and the list went on and on. Then we gathered a group of them and asked them, are you using antifungals? Really? Are they safe?
I think the reason that we get exceptional results is because fungus is everywhere, and we deal with that possibility in every patient we see. No matter what their symptoms are, we always think about fungus.
Fungus causes many diseases in the body, from cancer to autoimmune diseases to cardiovascular diseases. And fungus doesn't just happen. There are causes behind fungus.
Fungus makes mycotoxins. Mycotoxins have bad effects on people. And pretty much if there's a medical disease, there's a mycotoxin out there that can cause it.
And one of the interesting things that you really see is you see the effect of yeast and fungi on people's immune system, which really takes its toll. Even talking about how mold is a co-infection with Lyme, and one of the things that mold does is reduce the immune system, predisposing you to the spirochete, which causes Lyme. So you can, once you get a yeast problem, then you're just going to start, the snowball is going to start rolling, because the decrease in the immune system is going to start getting more and more illnesses because of that depletion in the immune systems.
If 10 patients come in today, how many of them do you think you'll think fungus?
All of them now. 10 of them. Because now I'm testing. I'm using a particular lab, and I'm testing everybody. I'm looking for the fungus.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, that's been 99% that's what I'm seeing.
So we removed the mucosa, put it on an SDA auger plate, and in about 3 days, it began to have a brown halo around it. And so I asked the mycotoxin testing lab to test the auger separate from the tissue. And the auger had 0.28 parts per billion trichothecene, which is a nerve poison. And that was why she was having trouble walking. So the day after, she stopped having her muscle fasciculations twitching. And it's the first time in 10 years she ever had that. So this is a good success story about removing mycotoxins from the nose.
Diflucan, on the other hand, we'll use a daily dose of about 100 milligrams for 30 days, and we'll check their liver function. It's kind of a luxury, because I've never seen a problem. I've treated thousands of patients with diflucan.
There's a concern you guys might have. Your doctors might say, look, hepatotoxicity, right? Liver toxic. Diflucan is supposedly hepatotoxic. I never saw it.
Well, I've not seen one case. And I think the important thing to know is diflucan is probably the most powerful tool against systemic fungus when it's all through your body.
Now, what if you have fungus problems there and you're putting out fungus toxins, mycotoxins? Then you're going to have a lot of inflammation that are trying to defend you. So the important thing to understand about inflammation, it is the root cause of all degenerative diseases. The other ones, it's the root cause of all of those as well, because it's talking about your body's natural defense system and how you marshal that together. So the important thing to understand is that is not a diagnosis. That's just a descriptive anatomy area. Then you have to learn what's the cause.
Well, just in the last, year, 18 months, that a lot of patients have yeast overgrowth and fungal infections, either from what they're eating or environmentally, live in a sick building, either at home or at work. And so I'm seeing chronic inflammation, I'm seeing chronic fatigue, chronic sinus issues, gastrointestinal issues, just all kinds of issues that are responding to an antifungal approach.
Wow.
Congratulations to Know the Cause and Doug Kaufman on 25 years on air. We've supported Know the Cause that entire 25 years. Doug and I have been friends all those years, and in that time our NSC products have helped thousands of people through Know the Cause. Thank you, Doug.
Congratulations, Doug and crew, on your 25th year anniversary. We're looking forward to many years to come.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
And Oklahoma City knows the cause. Boy, we had fun. Folks, it's one thing for me to understand this and for a doctor to understand it. But when a doctor implements a program to kill fungus, a whole lot of people benefit with a whole lot of ill health. Here's a little compilation of people who really got helped when they thought fungus.
My irritable bowel issues are completely gone, and through it all, I've lost 85 pounds. I feel like a completely new person. I just praise God for giving us Doug.
Wanted to give me several different shots or have an operation, take these seeds, and I says, no, I'm not going to do anything. So I got on Doug's diet, and I went back in 6 months, and he couldn't find anything. So my brother, he was diagnosed the same as I was. He had an operation, and he's having all kinds of problems now.
I had pre-cancer cells, dysplasia, and then I also had signs of carcinoma on my cervix. And then I saw Doug Kaufman's TV show, and I did the phase 1 diet, and I alkalized my body, cut out sugar, cut out dairy, gluten, soy, and I came back 6 months later, and the cancer cells are gone.
By the holidays of last year, I was very sick. I could not drink tap water. I could not take over-the-counter medication, prescription medication. Food made me sick, and I was having tremors, just very, very weak. So we ended up learning about the phase 1 diet. As soon as I started the diet, within about a week, I could sit up. Within a couple weeks, I could walk to the restroom on my own. And within about a month, I was washing my hair again on my own and walking and I'm driving again.
If you ignore information that's being presented to you to heal you, that information that can save your life, then the ignorance is actually willful. My weight is coming down, my waist is shrinking, my chronic sinusitis issues, all of that is dissipating. So I know it's working.
I have to prescribe the medications, the antifungals, the diflucan, the nystatin, and get them on these diets because it only makes sense. It's logical to me at this point. I feel like if I were to withhold that information from those people, I would not be, upholding my oath that I've taken to help other people.
I was diagnosed with Graves' disease and chronic fatigue syndrome, and I had one doctor tell me that he thought I had MS. I went to one of his seminars and started doing everything he said, the phase 1 diet, juicing carrots. I got on diflucan, and it took me probably about 9 months to a year, but I got well.
I had 3 strokes and was strapped to a bed, at which time they told me I also had diabetes. They put me on all sorts of pills, but said nothing about what I should do in order to try and help myself to get rid of it. Once I got home, I pulled out Doug's old books, and one was the Fungus link and infectious diabetes, and I read it, and since then I'm basically off all medications, don't have any more diabetes, and because of Doug's information, I'm basically 100%, and at this time I will not go off the phase 1 diet.
Hey Doug, I just wanted to say hi and tell you how much I appreciate knowing you and having the chance over the past years to work with Know the Cause. It's been a great show. It's helped hundreds of thousands, millions of people probably understand more about health and illness and some unique strategies to get better. So we're very thankful and very blessed to have been able to work with you with Prevagen. For a long, long time, we've known each other forever, and it's a blessing every day to consider you a friend and a colleague and a mentor. And we just really appreciate the time we've spent with Know the Cause and want to wish you the best for the future. Doug, happy 25th anniversary, buddy. Love you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Mark Underwood of Prevagen, still a successful company. We're so pleased to have been involved with them. In changing the tone a little bit, we talk about that which is, fungus, illness, etc. And we tend to forget, and I'm not going to do that in this show, about that which was, including this genius.
This is Dr. Roby Mitchell. Watch Know the Cause. You'll never medicate your way out of diseases that you behave yourself into. Change your habits, change your life. Back to you, Doug.
I think of Roby nearly every day. Loved his spirit. What a wonderful guy. You lose a few people along the way when you've done a show for 25 years. Our dear friend, my wife and my dear friend Denny Dunham, Dining with Denny, Dr. Gus Katsanis, Roby Mitchell you just saw, Frank Davis of Optavita. We had an employee here by the name of Kelvin Baugh. What an incredible young man. We lost him. But think Cass Ingram, Frank Long of Long Life Unlimited, Richard Allison. To each and every one of them, we truly miss you, but we thank you for the contribution you made.
Director of Science and Education with Essential Formulas. My company's been a proud sponsor of Know the Cause for probably about 20 years now, and I've been interviewed by you on Know the Cause more times than I can count. It makes me very happy to be able to honor and celebrate you on this wonderful 25th anniversary of Know the Cause. You've continually brought cutting-edge information and topics to millions of Americans, and you and your program, Know the Cause, have made a place in history in this country. So congratulations on 25 fabulous years with Know the Cause.
Thank you, Dr. Pelton. Such kind words. Folks, it started out as the Phase 1 diet, and gradually, because everybody came up with their own yeast diet, became the Kaufman 1 and Kaufman 2 diets. Watch.
You heard me say earlier, if you find yourself craving potatoes and starches and white rice and popcorn and things of that sort, that's kind of a clue you may have a fungal condition. So logic might dictate that a diet that is reduced in those and increased in vegetables and meats and so forth would be quite good. Not starving the fungus totally, because you want to include some carbohydrates in your diet. Carbohydrates like green apples and carrots and things of that sort that keeps the patient going. In other words, you'll feel pretty good and you'll have energy because your cells get some sugar. They're God sugar, actually. They're vegetable sugars or fruit sugars. And yet starving the vast majority of the yeast by cutting it off of your daily pasta, your breads, your potatoes that you're craving, etc. That is the phase 1 diet. I have published this years ago. Many doctors assisted me in finding out what this diet should be.
Hey everybody, Kyle Drew, meat-eating, tofu-hating nutritionist, and the original Fupo head. You know, 3 huge things happened to me 25 years ago. Number 1, I got married to my wife. We just celebrated 25 years in July. Number 2, there was a TV show with some guy saying fungus caused things. And I got to meet that guy. Number 3, when he came to town in Oklahoma City, huge event, a few thousand people showed up, and somehow I got to meet you, Doug, and we made a connection. I hope John Miller has a picture from that fateful day. And then only a few years later, you came back to Oklahoma City, which is why I'm here. I'm at the radio station where I do my radio show, Super Health. And you came on the radio with me. We spent the day together, and a few days later, you called me and asked me if I would come work for you. For 15 years, that was the greatest experience of my life, both professionally and personally. Getting to listen to you every day, learning how you think, learning how you analyze the medical research that's clearly out there that a lot of people ignore. You have changed my life forever. You've changed my family's life. Kaylin and Carson adore you the same way that I do. Doug, you are on my Mount Rushmore of most important people in my life. Nobody will replace you. You are a mentor, you are a friend, and you are a brother. I love you. Congratulations on 25 years. And may you have 25 more. Love you, brother. God bless you.
Oh, love you too, Kyle. 25 more years, I'd be 100. I can do this. One would think I would do it mistake-free. But sometimes, folks, I freeze. And they cut. But they didn't cut this. Should I go? I know what you're thinking. I've missed you too. When your program isn't working, when your health regime isn't working. Okay. Okay, try it one more time. Where again? Okay, so ask away. Learn. Let's learn together. Okay, one more time. Okay, I'm sorry. Fortunately, I only screw up 30-second. Your questions will not only help me become a better therapist, jeez. And one of the producers will get me that question and we'll try and answer it during the content. I'm getting old, I'm gonna die. Okay, almost did it. Do I want cookies? No, that's a tea. Thank you, Kristen. No, thanks. Just go to knowthecause.com, Christmas something or other. Okay, let's do that again. Yeah, I'm Marty Feldman. I can have one eye here, one eye there, one eye on the camera. I need 3 eyes. I used to be on KDOC, took a couple of years sabbatical, and now I'm back. Can we run that one? I'm wrestling with it. The weekend was bad also. Watch. Did I hit that?
Hey, Doug. Can you believe a quarter of a century? Know the Cause. Congratulations. We're so proud of you, and we are so proud that we've been a part of it. You and I have been together doing this since 1997 on your radio show, and then at Family Net with Dr. Karen Hayter when you filled in for her on Fridays and had me as a regular. We're so happy that you started your own show, Know the Cause, with producer John and all your great staff over there who we all love. Brightcore sends you tremendous congratulations on your 25th year.
Was that really 1997, Kim? We go back a long, long way. Kim said when I talked to her last words to me were, "God bless you." And I thought about that. God has blessed me. 25 years on television, thanks to the sponsorship of Kim and Dr. Ohhira's Probiotics and NSC24 and all these great, great companies. They kept me on the air. But you also kept me on the air. You heard and heeded the information. We didn't sell tires or carburetors within our show. We sold relevant products that we thought would benefit you. And so on behalf of all of us here, the staff that put this together, thank you, and may I end with God bless you.
The preceding program, Know the Cause, was paid for by Mediatrition Incorporated.